Habibi gang, get those prayer mats out. Because we've got a Premier League clash that's going to be spicier than your auntie's biryani, Aston Villa versus Brighton, at Villa Park.
Oh, yeah.
Monday, December 30th, 7:45 p.m. kickoff.
Big one.
Both teams are absolutely desperate for a win.
Desperate is an understatement.
Okay.
Villa wants to claw their way back into that top four.
Right.
And Brighton, well, their recent form is about as appealing as a week-old kebab.
Ouch. That's harsh but fair. So let's break down what you, Habibi gang, need to know before placing those bets. First up, tail of the tape, Villa's sitting 9th with 28 points home advantage and a pretty decent record against Brighton, having won 4 out of the last 5.
Yeah.
But there's always a but.
There is indeed. They're just not clicking the way they did last season, are they?
No.
That defensive steel that propelled them to Champions League qualification seems a bit rusty. Juggling European nights with domestic duties is a tough gig.
No argument there. It's a whole different ballgame. Now Brighton, they're down in 10th with 26 points and on a winless streak of 6 matches. They splashed the cash in the summer, but the results haven't quite matched the investment. What's going on there?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? You've got a young, talented squad, but something isn't clicking. 6 games without a win is a serious cause for concern, even for a team like Brighton.
Let's dive into that a bit deeper.
Yeah.
Villa's won 3 of their last 5, but that Newcastle defeat was a real thumping 3-0, and the red card drama didn't help. However, they did manage to take down Man City a few weeks back, so they've definitely still got some bite.
Oh, that Man City win was a statement, no doubt. It shows you they're not afraid of the big boys and that they can turn it on when it matters.
Right.
But consistency is key, and that's what's been missing for Villa this season.
Okay, so Villa is a bit up and down.
Yeah.
What about Brighton? Their form, well, we've already established it's about as pleasant as a trip to the dentist. 5 games without a win, and some of those were very winnable. Do you think this is just a blip, or is there something more systemic at play?
It's tough to say, but I think it's a combination of factors. They're definitely missing some key players through injury, but also teams seem to have figured them out tactically. The element of surprise is gone, and Brighton hasn't quite adapted.
Now, let's talk about the men at the helm. For Villa, you've got Unai Emery, tactical genius, the man who brought Champions League football back to Villa Park. But, and I'm just throwing this out there, is the Premier League slipping away from him?
That's an interesting point. He's definitely had to tinker with his tactics a bit this season, and some of his decisions have been questioned. There have been glimpses of that tactical brilliance, but it hasn't been consistent.
Okay, and for Brighton, you've got Fabian Hürzeler, young, promising manager, but the pressure is mounting. 6 games without a win that can take a toll on anyone.
This match is absolutely crucial for him. A win could silence the doubters and give the team a much-needed boost. Another loss. Well, let's just say the board meeting might be a bit frosty.
Right before we jump into the predictions, let's get to the good, the bad, and the suspended. The team news for Villa Duran is out with that red card, and Cash is also suspended. Ramsey is still sidelined with that nagging injury.
Those are some big losses for Villa Duran's absence especially will be felt up front. But let's not forget they've got players like Bailey Rogers and McGinn waiting in the wings, all capable of making a serious impact.
Turning to Brighton, their injury list is longer than a Boxing Day queue at Tesco. Welbeck, Kadiolu, Hinchelwood, Webster, and Milner are all out. Oof, that's gotta hurt.
It's a nightmare scenario for Brighton. Their squad depth is being seriously tested. But look, it could be a chance for some of the younger lads to shine. Rutter, Adingra, these are names to keep an eye on.
Okay, Habibi gang, we've set the scene, analyzed the form, and dissected the team news. Now the moment you've all been waiting for: predictions.
Fasten your seatbelts, folks, because this one is going to be a roller coaster. Most pundits, and I hate to agree with those jokers, are leaning towards a Villa win, likely a 2-1. Villa at home, under the lights, against a Brighton side that's leaking goals. It's a recipe for a home win, isn't it?
On paper, absolutely.
Yeah.
But Brighton has a knack for scoring even when they're out of form. Plus, they've got nothing to lose at this point. A wounded animal could be dangerous.
True. Don't underestimate the power of desperation. And let's not forget, this is a Brighton side that's caused Villa problems in the past. Remember that 3-2 thriller at the Amex last season? Brighton came back from 2-0 down to snatch a point.
Yeah, that was a wild one.
Yeah.
So are you saying we could be in for another goal fest, a BTTS thriller, as the kids say these days?
I wouldn't rule it out. Both teams have firepower up front, and both defenses have shown vulnerabilities this season. Plus, this match has must-win written all over it. That kind of pressure can lead to some rash decisions, some desperate defending, and ultimately more goals.
Okay, Habibi gang, if you're thinking about having a cheeky pun on this match, here's what you need to consider. First up, Villa's attack. Ollie Watkins, The man's a goal machine. If he's on form, Brighton's backline is in for a long night.
Watkins is definitely the danger man. He's got pace, power, and a clinical finish. But let's not forget about Leon Bailey. He's been in electric form lately, cutting in from that right wing and causing all sorts of problems.
And what about Brighton's attack? Who should Villa be worried about?
If Kaoru Mitoma is fit, he's the one to watch. He's a magician on the ball with the ability to create something out of nothing. He can dribble past defenders like they're traffic cones and has an eye for a killer pass.
And let's not forget the midfield battle, which could be key in this match. Villa's got that solid trio of McGinn, Tielemans, and Onana, a blend of power, creativity, and defensive solidity.
Right.
But Brighton's midfield is no slouch either.
Absolutely. They've got Mac Allister pulling the strings and young Moises Caicedo providing the energy and tenacity. If Brighton can control the midfield, they'll be able to dictate the tempo and frustrate Villa.
This is where Unai Emery's tactical nous comes into play. Can he come up with a game plan to neutralize Brighton's midfield and unleash his attacking players? It's going to be a fascinating tactical battle.
You know what's really interesting is how the atmosphere at Villa Park could play a factor. The crowd will be up for this one, and they can really be the 12th man for Villa.
No doubt about it. Villa Park, under the lights, a packed crowd, a must-win match. That's a recipe for an electric atmosphere.
And that can really lift the players, give them that extra edge. It's going to be interesting to see how Brighton copes with that pressure. They're a young team, and they haven't experienced anything quite like this before.
All right, let's put it all together. You've analyzed the form, the tactics, the key players.
Yeah.
What's your gut feeling? Are you sticking with the pundit's prediction of a Villa win, or do you see an upset on the cards?
Okay, Habibi gang, here's where I'm going to go out on a limb. I'm predicting a draw.
Ooh.
A tense, hard-fought 1-1 draw.
Okay.
I think Brighton will be fired up for this one, determined to prove they're not going down without a fight. And Villa, well, they might be feeling the pressure of expectation.
A draw. Yeah. Bold prediction. You're braver than a lion wearing a Liverpool shirt at Old Trafford. I respect it.
Listen, I'm just calling it how I see it. This match has all the ingredients for a stalemate. Two evenly matched teams, both desperate for a win, both capable of scoring goals, and both under immense pressure.
Okay, Habibi gang,
Yeah.
what do you think? Are you with the expert, or do you see things differently? Let us know your predictions in the comments below. I've got a feeling this one's going to be one of those matches you watch through your fingers. Habibi gang, edge of your seat stuff. But beyond the points, this match is about something bigger, isn't it?
Absolutely. It's a statement game. For Villa, it's a chance to show they're not just a flash in the pan, that they can compete on multiple fronts, that the Champions League hasn't distracted them from domestic success.
And for Brighton, it's an opportunity to silence the doubters, to prove they belong in this league, that their early season form wasn't a fluke.
It's a test of character, of resilience, of their ability to dig deep and grind out a result when the chips are down. This match could be a turning point for both teams, for better or for worse.
I can already picture it. Villa Park under the lights. The crowd roaring every tackle, met with a chorus of cheers and groans. The tension will be palpable.
Oh, the atmosphere will be electric, no doubt. The fans will be right up for this one. And that's what makes the Premier League so special, isn't it? That passion, that intensity, that feeling that anything can happen.
It's the reason we stay up late, sacrificing sleep and sanity to watch grown men chase a ball around a pitch. It's more than just a game, the BB Gang. It's a shared experience, a cultural phenomenon, a beautiful, chaotic mess that we wouldn't trade for anything.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Now, enough with the philosophical musings. Let's get back to the matter at hand.
There you are. So to wrap things up, we've got Villa hungry to climb the table, facing a wounded Brighton side, desperate to stop the rot. It's a clash of styles, a battle of wills, a match that could go either way.
We've dissected the form, analyzed the tactics, highlighted the key players. Now it's up to you, Habibi gang, to decide who's walking away with the points. Will Villa continue their resurgence, or will Brighton pull off a shock upset?
Whatever happens, it's bound to be a night of drama, passion, and hopefully some beautiful football. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more deep dives into the world of football. Until next time, Habibi gang.
Keep it, Habibi.